Hey guys, what's going on? 30 books in 30 weeks. It's about that time. Oh, it is time for us to kind of reconnect some disconnects again. Do this personal development journey that I call 30 books in 30 weeks, rating my own personal development library in hopes of sharing some ahas and great takeaways for each of you. How's everybody doing? So as you guys come in, welcome. I appreciate you making the investment to stop by and say hey and listen to the message for the day. And today we're going to talk a lot about, or a little bit about, I won't be on here too long, about self-awareness and how that plays into this week's book, which is Make the Connection by Oprah Winfrey. This book was one of my game changer books. It was actually one of the very first personal development books that I read, and really is what sparked my decision about 15 years ago to really truly change my life, and not settle for the average or settling for just letting life happen around me. I decided to become an active participant in my life, an active participant in my happiness, and this book was a huge source for that. So for those of you who are coming in and may not already be familiar with the work that I do, my name is Marcy Batiste. I'm a public speaker, I'm an author, and I am a reality-based success and recovery trainer, the best reality-based success and recovery trainer that you can have. And I'm the best because I live the life every single day. And so it's not about regurgitating teachings. It's not about philosophies and theories and concepts. This is about the real and the raw, the things that work, the techniques that change your lives. And so there's a couple of things that I'm known for. One is being sold out to my happiness, which, as I just shared with you guys, this book was a huge catalyst for allowing me, providing me information that I needed and inspiration that I needed to get actively involved in my life and to truly understand that I have a say-so in my happiness. I have a say-so in my life. And since that time, I've learned how to, what I call, live life on Mars. And that is really operate in a space that is, that makes me happy. That is conducive to the life that I want to live, the lifestyle that I want to live, the whole 9 yards. So today we're going to talk about, like I said, self-awareness. How does that work? How does that fit? One of the things that I always focus on with my clients is having them discover and embrace their own star power. And the only way that you can do that is to really truly get connected with your spirit, your heart, your soul. What moves you? What makes you upset? What makes you happy? What makes you sad? What energizes you? What's going on, Sean? What energizes you? What pumps you up? What brings you down? What sends you to places? There's some things and some people that, if you allow them, can really just take you from 0 to 100 that quick. Being aware, like, what are those things? And hey, Philip, and getting in touch with what that looks like, because before you can be happy by yourself, before you can be happy in a relationship, you have to become self-aware. And that was a huge chapter in this book. That was a huge piece for me when I was beginning my own transformation, when I was 400 pounds and feeling abandoned and feeling lost and feeling like nobody cared. I was afraid that if I died the next day, nobody would be able to carry my casket. I couldn't imagine being buried in the face of humiliation after living a whole life as 400 pounds, but yet invisible and voiceless. That was a fate worse than death to me. And there was this inbred fear that I didn't understand. And when I was reading this book, there's a whole section, like I said, on self-awareness. And I had never, ever, I must have been about 31 at the time. And I had never, hey Ed, I had never taken the time to figure out who is Marcy? Who who do I want to be? How do I want to show up to the world? Like, those were terms and phrases that I wasn't even familiar with. They really literally meant nothing. And so now, looking back 17 years later as a coach for other women, as a motivational speaker, all of these components that are so hugely influential in my life now, imagine 17 years ago they didn't ever exist. And so when we talk about transformation, when we talk about discovering that star power, when we talk about how do you cure that emotional bankruptcy, it all starts with figuring out who you are. Who are you? Like, who are you? How many times, how many of you have ever sat down and just asked yourself, who am I? What makes me tick? What makes me happy? Is it, what is it? You might say, I like going to the beach. Well, what is it about the beach? Is it the feel of the sun shining on your skin? Is it the sound of the waves? Is it the sand? Is it watching, the people and the children play? What is it about the beach? So we'll toss these things out that we say make us happy, but we're not self-aware to understand, why does that make me happy? So for instance, give you an example. I love the beach, but I know why I love the beach. The beach and looking at the ocean to me represents infinity. There's no end to the ocean that I can ever see. And so that lets me know that no matter what is within my immediate frame of vision, there's something more out there. I love the beach because of the power of water. There's a saying that water can move mountains, wrought iron, and change the course of the earth, right? Water is so powerful. It finds the least little opening and makes something happen. That's why I love the ocean. I know exactly why I love the ocean, but I know why I love the ocean because I am very, very self-aware. Hey, Portia, what's going on, Melanie? Yeah, Sean, self-check, right. But when people even hearing the word self-awareness, they don't understand conceptually how deep you really have to go to be able to say, oh yeah, no, I'm fully self-aware. Even when, something upsets you. But do you know why you got upset by it? Do you know where that emotion came from? Do you know what sparked that feeling of anger or frustration? Like, can you even put a label on those things? That is true self-awareness. That's the level of self-awareness. That is the level that you have to know who you are. Who are you? You have to know exactly who you are, how you got there, before you can prepare to move on to the next stage. Because what happens if you're not fully self-aware, and let's say you have a surface level of awareness, that's a good start. But here's the problem. If you only have a surface level awareness and you've never went deeper and you've never taken that deeper dive into who you are, when you get to the next phase, when you get to the next level, there will be things from the previous stage, the previous phase of life that's going to pop up. Those things are going to come back. They're going to crop up. And if you haven't done that deep dive into your self-awareness, they're going to throw you off track. They're going to have you second guessing. Did I make a mistake? Am I ready for this? Can I do this? Can I achieve this? Can I accomplish this? Is it possible? Is different available to me? You'll question everything because you don't know why that thing is a trigger for you. And identifying, hi John, welcome. Identifying what your triggers are is that deep level of self-awareness. Identifying habits. What habits do you have? Why are they habits? What is it that is triggering you to behave certain ways? Are you seeking attention? Are you seeking affection? Is it something that's self-soothing? Really putting labels on every aspect of your emotion, every aspect, like the deep, deep levels of emotion. And once you do that, once you're able to put labels on them, guess what happens? Not only do you become self-aware, not only are you prepared to go to another level, move on to the next phase, go into your next chapter, but you're better able to communicate who you are to someone else. And so when we go in, what's going on, John Cooper? You go into these relationships, but because you're not fully self-aware, you can't fully prepare the other person to be in relation with you. And so I say all the time, we teach people how to be in relation with us. But if you've never made that connection for yourself about who you are, how the hell are you going to communicate that? What are you going to tell them about who you are? What are you going to tell them about your triggers? I remember getting out of a relationship after my domestic violence, and I couldn't even tell you my own favorite color. Now, that was after I thought I had done a whole lot of work because I had lost a bunch of weight and all this stuff. So I had already started my personal development journey, but I had that surface level of awareness. And when I took that deep dive after the abuse, when I took that deep dive to figure out what moves me, I understood so many things. One of the biggest things was I understood the reason why I couldn't identify my own favorite color, my own likes and dislikes, was because I had appropriated them to everyone else. So whoever I was around, whatever relationship I was in, if they liked eggs scrambled, I ate eggs scrambled. If they liked eggs over medium, I ate them over medium. If they liked them over hard, I ate them over hard. They didn't like eggs, we didn't eat eggs. That's just one example. Guess what? I discovered I like my eggs over medium. They can't have the runny stuff. I don't like it oozing all over my plate, and I don't like things touching my other food, and it's just weird stuff about me, but I know that about myself, right? So never again will I eat scrambled eggs if I really want over medium eggs. Not to say I don't like scrambled eggs, but my favorite kind is over medium. So make yourself invest some time with that self-awareness. Take that deeper dive into who you are, how you show up to the world, and be able to communicate all those things to the other people in your lives, to the new relationships in your lives, and watch your feelings of success, your feelings of happiness expand exponentially. That's my word for the day. We are working on week 17. Make the Connection by Oprah Winfrey is the book this week. I will check in with you all tomorrow. Have a good day. Thanks for living life on Mars, guys.